Hello. I almost forgot. I'm like, okay, let me make sure there are people in here. How is everyone this evening? Danielle, Oklahoma City. Nika, is it Taia? Always busy. Ari, hey girl. Linda, how is everyone this evening? San Antonio, where it's probably warm, right? I bet it's warm there. It's freezing here. How is everyone? Is everybody ready for Christmas? I'm not. I don't know. Can anyone tell me like why is Christmas so different this year? Is it just me? It's kind of different for me, but it seems like everyone around me when we ask people, we're like, "What are you guys doing for Christmas?" Everyone's like, "We're not doing anything this year. We're not doing anything." I don't even have a tree. Thank you, Taia. Is it Taia? Don't let me say your name wrong. Yeah, we don't even, and you guys know, like, if you've been following me for the past few years, like, usually we have like four Christmas trees in this house, and everything is Christmasified, the bathrooms, everything. And this year I have nothing. I have no tree, nothing. I haven't put anything up, just not in the mood for it. Trina, it seems different. Yeah, it absolutely it seems different. Elise 25, good evening. Aaron from the Bahamas. Travel One, well, welcome. Yeah, it's I don't know. I don't know what it is. Like I need to go out and do some shopping. But just for a few things. Nothing like I'm not won't be like it was last year. I'm not in the mood for it. I think that it's like I kind of feel like we have all got in the habit of not gathering, right? From the past, like what, nearly 2 years of COVID. Like it's kind of like a habit to just have to be responsible. And now they're all on the news now talking about this new strain of COVID. And so people are like, it's not safe again. So it's just, I don't know. I'm a Christmas person. That's why this is so crazy to me because I start doing Christmas after Halloween. And I don't care about Halloween, but that's when I start dragging all my stuff out, but I have nothing. So if you want to see what my house looks like at Christmas time, you have to go back to my last year tour when I toured my house at Christmas because this year it's not the same. Omicron, yeah, Omicron. It's too much, too much. And I'll tell you probably what I'll do is buy something for some kids or something that, aren't going to get anything. But yeah, not going crazy up in here. Yeah, not gathering has put a damper on things. They said people need to test people before they invite them over. Um, yeah, and who wants to be responsible? Who wants to go through that just to have a Christmas dinner? You have to be concerned. We went out. It was my cousin's birthday party, and she had her birthday party at the signature room last weekend, and we went. And I think the thing is like once you start to have like a cocktail or two and you got that mask on and you're dancing and you can't breathe and it's hot, I think you have a tendency to get a little bit careless, right? You're like, oh, I gotta breathe, and you just hope nobody around you is real close to you. And then when I got home, I was like, I'm gonna be paranoid all week long, wondering if somebody breathed on me or if I might have picked up COVID while I was out that night. So yeah, it's kind of weird. Yeah, life is Miss China Doll. Life is not going according to plan for anybody right now. Things are definitely different, but I guess you just have to make the best of it, right? You have to find stuff. I've been finding stuff to do. I wanted to start sewing, making more of my own clothes, like actual clothes. So I've been spending a lot of time doing that. I'm making a gown that I'm hoping to wear for New Year's Eve. So just like reading, keeping my mind occupied. I have YouTube, that occupies some of my time. And people are always thanking me for, creating content so that they have something to do when they're stuck in the house. No, thank y'all for watching. It gives me something to do while I'm stuck in the house. Um, Karina's mood. Yeah, I am. I am. But I mean, it hasn't mattered for people that are vaccinated. People that are vaccinated have still been getting sick. So it's kind of like darn if you do, darn if you don't. I guess you don't get as sick, but I don't know. So I'm drinking coffee and I'm probably going to be up all night long. I won't be on here all night, but I'll probably be up all night. Ari, I'm so glad you put up some type of Christmas tree. That's exciting. Even if it is a felt Christmas tree. Oh, thank you, Danielle. Thank you. Not coffee at 9. I know coffee at 9 o'clock p.m. is kind of crazy. I felt like I had like a chill. It was kind of cold in the house. It's cold outside. So I was like, I'll make myself a little cup of coffee and come on live. What I was actually trying to do was I started this new Facebook group and it's called the Mature Woman Space. And so I actually put the link in my last video that I did for women that want to join. It's only for women and it's only for women who want to talk and meet other women. So I was trying to be live in that group tonight and it didn't work out. I don't know if I didn't put the notification out soon enough or what the problem was, but I'll try it again tomorrow. But if you're a lady, then, definitely join. You don't have to be, a woman of a more mature age, but just know, well, you have to be, mature, basically. The number doesn't matter. And because we're going to be talking about some grown women stuff in there, but it's just going to be a space where I feel like it'll be more intimate and more private. It's free. You don't have to worry about all that Patreon type stuff. And I think that that'll be cool. So if you would like to join, definitely go over there and join. It's a mature woman's space. But don't bring no drama. No drama, because you can get hit with the blocker. It's easy to remove people from a group. Psalms 41, what kind of makeup do I use? I have on MAC today, actually. I have on MAC. Yes, I will. Actually, I will put the link in the description box on this video. Because I this for some reason when I'm on Zoom, YouTube does not allow me to type. So that's weird. It's not on my regular Facebook page. I felt like maybe I should put it there because I don't know, a lot of people that follow me on YouTube follow me on Facebook, but a lot of guys follow me on Facebook too, so I don't want the guys to think that, it's something that they can join in on. I just want it to be all women. Miss China Dolls is a mature woman's space. And so I'll put the link in the, because I don't know why YouTube won't let me type in here. It's kind of crazy. So I have made a decision about something. It was a hard decision too. Well, actually, you know what? Let me stop lying. No, it wasn't. It was an easy decision for me. Um, because I decided that in 2022, like I never make New Year's resolutions. I was gonna say YouTube resolutions, New Year's resolutions. I always say I just want to be better in the new year than I was the year before. So I have decided that after I fulfill all of my wig obligations and contracts and everything that I have going right now with Chinese wig companies, and I'm not, don't nobody in here start digging in on me about, I'm not discriminating, I'm not saying any of that, but I will not be working with them any longer at all. Now, I'm not saying I'm not still going to wear wigs, but I will not be doing business with them any longer. I'm over it. And I have to get my coin another way. And it's just, it's a lot. There's a lot to it. I talked in my video when I was talking about the situation I had with the jewelry store. I said, why do we keep doing business with people that don't respect us? And the more I do business with these companies, I just realize that these companies, excuse me, they don't respect us. And it's like, I'm not gonna, like, this is my YouTube channel. I can do whatever I want to do. I bought wigs, good wigs, human hair wigs before I ever came to YouTube, before ever. Like I've never had to wear like $10, $20 wigs. I've always worn good wigs. So that doesn't need to be a part of my life. And not only that, I feel like it kind of gets to be a thing with like customers or viewers coming to me and saying, well, your wig was great, but I ordered the same wig, I didn't get the same wig. Because initially people would say to me, they would say, well, reviewers get the best wigs. And I was like, no, we just know how to work the wigs. And so I played a little tricky trick on them, and I got a wig that just like one of you guys would get. And I was like, okay. So it's a money thing. It's always a thing of like, they try to lowball me, and it's like, no, go to NBC and ask them if you can put a commercial on their channel for a couple $100. It's not gonna happen. So I'm over it. I'm done with it. I would love to support Black hair companies, but the thing about that is they don't like to send you wigs. They don't want to send you hair. I've had some girls reach out to me and say, I make wigs, or I'm selling wigs, or I'm, whatever, but they want you to buy the hair. And I don't have a problem with buying the hair, but at that point in time, there was no need for me to spend a lot of money on wigs because I had a couple hundred of them that I was actually getting for free. But, it's like, it doesn't matter what nationality is coming from, it's still a form of marketing for whoever sends the wig. So I don't know. We'll be done with that. And even, and I'm going to say this, if I do it for a minority owned company, they are going to have to be the ones who actually make the wigs. I'm not even going to do it for a minority owned company that gets their wigs from China. Facts. I'm there. It's like that over here. That's how serious it is. But like I said, I have some obligations I have to fulfill, you know, and after I do that, then it's a wrap. So yeah. Yeah, we got to do better. You know, we really, really have to do better. Like these companies, some of these companies are getting like filthy, stinking rich, and it's crazy because um you get, yeah, someone asked, who asked, emancipation, are you getting compensated? Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna say this, and it might be putting too much of my business out in the streets. Wigs have actually been my highest form of revenue from YouTube. I'll be perfectly honest about that. Wigs have been how I have made the bulk of my money from YouTube. So if you, with hearing that, you know, you gotta know how I feel is serious because I'm about to let that go. You gotta know. It's like that with me right now. Um, Black companies want free promos. I hate to say that, but yeah, they do sometimes. And I feel like I don't like that. You know, I don't understand it. There, and I have done it though. That's the thing about it. I have done it. And there are some minority owned companies out there that know that I have done it. You guys have seen me do several videos where I'm sharing those products. And I never even asked to be compensated because it wasn't about that. That's not always the thing. But if someone is reaching out to me saying, hey, I have wigs or this or that, it's like, okay, we need to work something out. Even if it's just, you know, a couple $100, we got to work something out, you know. And you got to send me the wig. Like you can't reach out to me and say, hey, buy my wig. So I'm going to buy your wig and I'm going to promote your wig and you're going to make lots of money. Yeah, no, not going to do that. Not at all. So Cynthia, good evening. Tony, Danielle, Virgo, Elizabeth Johnson, do they give you the wigs? Yeah, they give you the wig. Actually, I'll just put it out there. This is the way that it goes. They do. They send you the wig for free. And then when you have recorded the video, then they pay you for the video, the price that you guys have agreed upon. And that's how you get paid from them. And then you publish the video live. But funny story for me, so when I was new, it was like I was brand new on YouTube. I didn't have many subscribers and I loved wigs. And I think the first few wigs I did was because viewers were asking me to talk about wigs that I was actually wearing. So I did that. And then companies started reaching out to me, asking me to review their wig. And so they would send me a wig and I would do a video for free, right? For no money, just a wig. And I was happy to have it. I'm like, this is a human hair wig. It's clear laces, you know. And so then I was like, okay, I'm supposed to be getting paid for this. So then I said, okay, you need to pay me X amount of money. And some companies would just come to me right off the bat and say, hey, I'll pay you this amount of money. So one day I was dealing with this company and I said, this is my price. So they came back to me and they said, that's too much money. And I said, you know, you want to try to negotiate, right? So I said, well, what's comfortable for you? What's your budget? Because they always tell you we on budget. They love to say that. And so they said $200. And I was like, $200? I don't get out of my bed in the morning for $200. No, I'm not doing that. So then we came up with a price, right? And this company accidentally sent me a contract from another wig reviewer, another young lady, with $8,000 on it. $8,000. And I was like, wait a damn minute. Wait a minute. Because what I was doing it for was way less than $8,000. I went and I looked at this person's channel. I looked at this person's subscriber count. I looked at their previous wig videos, and I was like, okay, so you're willing to pay this. So then that's when I realized, I was like, okay, so we about to turn this thing up a notch. But the back and forth, it gets old. The arguing, the fact that they get the video, they get to share my photo and all over the world. And sometimes people call me up and they're like, I saw your picture on the so-and-so's wig company. And 2 times it has been a wig company that I've never even worked with. So I'm like, you guys don't just get to, it's not happening. So, but anyway, so if you know any Black owned wig companies or any minority owned wig companies, and they're not purchasing their wigs from over yonder, then tell them to holler at me. But I ain't buying the wig. Let them know that. Actually, I did order a wig actually from some girls. There are 2 college girls who started a wig company, and they're like, have I worn, I don't even think I've worn the wig yet, but I did buy a wig from them because absolutely I'm going to support that, hands down. So, but anyway, on to the next topic of discussion. So, okay, so is it Khadijah? I would love for you guys, maybe I'll put up a post or something and I'll ask, like, what is the best time for me to come on and do a live show? Because like tonight, I was actually trying to be live on Facebook, but that didn't work out. So I said, well, let me just go on YouTube and see who's still up drinking Folgers like me. Oh, so I just kind of popped on here, but I would love to know, like, what is the best time? Because I know I have viewers on the East Coast, on the West Coast, and overseas as well. So yeah. C says, stop trying to be as nice, be as cutthroat. Yeah. And that's another thing. You said that I don't know who I don't know who Miss Precious is or what she actually invented. Put that in the comment section for me. But there are a few things that I know, like the grip. I know that. I don't know if it was Miss Precious who came up with that. Yeah, they're always doing things like that. Absolutely. It's not a good thing. What perfumes do I use with my Satsuma? Oh, I use so many. I think I use that most of the time in the summertime with a lot of my citruses, but one fragrance that I do wear with it and when it's cold outside is Sunshine Man. Man, listen. If you layer Sunshine Man with Satsuma, it's Amouage Sunshine Man. It is pretty amazing. It's more than amazing. So anybody got any good questions tonight? I had a good topic that I wanted to discuss. I actually wanted to discuss it when I was going to come on live, but the power went out. But it's about who killed chivalry. So we'll have to, when I come on earlier one evening, we'll have to talk about that. So Travel One says West Coast 4 p.m. So I'm always wondering about that, like 4 or 5 o'clock around in their time. I see some people come on live at 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm just always like, wow, I don't even know if anybody would actually be on and watching at that time of the evening. But the good thing about live is you can go back and watch it. But um being dynamite, done being a good wife. Dynamite, tell us why you're done being a good wife. The Zoom link is actually in the description box if you want to come on and talk about being a good wife, why you are done being a good wife. Now, let me tell you guys something. If you click on that link and you come on here, I'm going to need you to turn your camera on. Okay. And if you absolutely positively do not want to be on YouTube, let me know that. But just make sure that is like pertaining to what we're talking about and not that you just want to come on here and hang out with me. If you just want to come on here and hang out with me, we can do a one-on-one or something. Now I see college, ENIO, how to stay humble when you know the ish or when because you work hard to maintain yourself and your intellect. One thing you should always be is humble. That's one thing. Don't ever lose that. You're never so much the ish that you can't be humble. One must remain humble through it all. That's how I feel. Definitely how I feel. I think with my what good wives don't talk about video, it's so funny to me every time whenever I talk about marriage, people start assuming that I'm talking about getting divorced or that I'm getting ready to get divorced. And it's like anytime people talk about the unpleasant side of something, or maybe not even, we won't even call it the unpleasant side. We'll call it the real side of something. Then people assume that things are bad just because people talk about the great side of things so often, you know? So um I don't want people to assume that that's the case because I done told y'all many a times, like, I'm not interested in being out there again. Angela, I'm gonna go back on live on the Facebook book group in the small Facebook group tomorrow. Because I tried it, no one showed up. So I was like, maybe they didn't think that, or they didn't know what I meant. And then I had some technical difficulties, or actually, Sandy was the only person that showed up. So she and I got to chat for a little while. So I was trying to, I missed some, I guess I missed, oh, okay. Did the bald cat method. Okay, okay. Precious did the bald cat method. Yeah, I know that and the wig grip were actually started by two different girls, but I know that it might have been a couple girls that actually created that. I have some around here, but they're definitely the knockoff kind, the silicone wig grip that you put on your head. Oh, um that's a good question. What are some good gifts to buy for your husband? A lot of things are sold out. Um, oh, I was saying I posted the link for the Zoom that I'm on now in the description box, Angela, like for whoever wanted to come on here now. Um, I think some good things to get. First of all, ask him what he wants. And even if you don't want to get that exact thing that he wants, try to get close. That's what I always say. And I can always appreciate that when people give me that same courtesy. Like ask him what he wants. If has he been talking about anything? If not, like I always say things like if a guy likes if he wears watches, if he does not have a wooden watch, I like to give those because typically they're real crafty and guys don't typically go out and buy those. If he's into electronics, like I like to get like my husband typically likes stuff like headphones and little gadgets. I bought my husband because he's sometimes working outside and it's really cold outside. I bought him some heated gloves. And that was a really good gift. Now he let the dogs get a hold to him, but that's a whole nother story. So I have Kim. Yeah, heated stuff. I always, the best gifts are things that people can actually use. Like I like to give people stuff that they're going to use, things that they're going to have forever and ever. For I think it was Valentine's Day, I bought my husband this. My husband likes guns. And so I bought him it's a rifle, but it's actually a liquor decanter. Like we have bourbon in it. I put some bourbon in it, but it came with these bullet ice cubes, and they're metal. You just put them in the freezer, and it came with 2 glasses, and it's on this really nice stand, and he likes that. Men are sometimes kind of easy to buy gifts for. You just have to know what they like and listen to what they want. And also, sometimes they won't go out and buy themselves things that they need. So those are always good gifts to get them. Don't buy him a tie or anything though. Hey, Kim, are you there? Kim, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. What you got for me tonight?
I just wanted to listen in. I was just thinking about the whole gift giving thing. That's when I came in.
Oh,
I've been having a hard time since this is our first year of dating, and his birthday was the end of November, and I had the worst anxiety trying to figure out what to buy him. I think I was overthinking it, but once I kind of calmed down and just was like, "Girl, you know some things that he likes. I know this is the first year you're dating. Just calm down." And when I didn't really think about it, all the ideas just came to me.
now let me
And
ask you this. Is this we just casually kicking it, or we talking about marriage or
man, we're talking about marriage. Yes.
oh, okay. Yeah, then you can get him the good stuff. But you can get him the we talking about marriage gifts.
Yes, so yes, he's a dating with a purpose type of guy. So that's
Oh,
we
good.
talked about marriage maybe a month or two within the relationship, and it's yeah, so I'm looking forward to that day. I know it's probably going to happen soon, but I'm just being patient.
Yeah, be patient, but don't be too patient now.
Oh no, I am. I'm not gonna wait around, but
Yeah,
he wants to be married. He does.
yeah.
So he has been very forward about that, and that he wanted us to be married. So yeah,
Now,
so he
what kind of gift are you thinking about getting him?
well, for his birthday, I ended up getting him like an arcade game, a big arcade for his house. I thought about it because we went on a couple of dates and we kind of just stumbled into this arcade. It's like an old school arcade place downtown in my city, and he enjoyed
Oh,
it.
yeah.
So I got him that for his home, and he was so excited. And he doesn't play a lot of games, but I figured that because it's an old school, like a old school Pac-Man. It had other games on it.
Oh
He
yeah.
liked that. Yeah, he likes that. And he's a musician as well. So it's kind of like hard to, I was thinking about more into some things with music, but he has so many different, he plays the keyboard and the drums and the guitar. He's a minister of music at his church. And that part he has on lock. So I have to think about outside of the music.
Oh yeah. Now, what did
outside
he,
of the,
is he a good gift giver?
he is a very good gift giver. He does listen to me a lot. He was raised, um, grew up with his mother, father, and three sisters. He's the only boy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so he listens, and he has a daughter. So he listens. he listens to me, and he noticed that I bought my home. That I'm a new home buyer, and I bought it before we even met, and so that was kind of like, oh God. when I thought about it after we met, I'm like, I didn't bought this house, but so it's some things that I don't have as far as some appliances that I don't have, but some things
Mhm.
that I would like to have. So at my job, I make coffee a lot. I drink coffee every day. So he brought me a really, really nice Keurig machine that matches my kitchen.
Oh wow.
Um, yeah, and it was so sweet because he thought about how much money I spend. If I'm not at work, I'm out and about buying coffee. So he paid attention to the fact that she liked coffee, she likes tea. So let me give her something that she won't have to keep spending a whole lot of money, going out here to Starbucks.
Now, somebody asked me in the comment section, is she moving too fast before the engagement? I would say I wouldn't buy any more video games until I had a little
Oh
piece of
yeah.
playing on it. I definitely would not. I in fact I would keep it simple. I would keep it
hmm
simple, there's
Okay.
nothing wrong with giving good gifts, and I say this all the time. There's nothing wrong with giving a man a gift. Men appreciate gifts as much as we do, but I do believe that there are wife gifts, there are
hmm
fiance gifts, and there are girlfriend gifts. Absolutely.
hmm
Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought about it. It wasn't too expensive. So I was kind
Yeah.
of, looking within the range. Now I do know there are some things that I've seen that they are a bit, pricey, but I'm like, maybe no, this is the first year, and I'm gonna hold those off for,
Yeah.
the later years. But I just kind of was trying to kind of give like that same kind of energy because the kind of man he is always giving, and he is the kindest, sweetest person I've ever met in my life.
Yeah.
And it was like he's always giving, and people are always taking from him because
Right.
of who he is. And so I just wanted him to, know that okay, maybe this is in this relationship, you won't have to feel so like you're drained and you're being taken from. Instead, I feed into you too, and you feed into me, because from
Right.
the beginning, he has come through my door bearing gifts almost every time I see him. It's
Right.
something he's bringing me. It's something he's thought about. He'll drive because we live in a neighboring cities. He would drive up just to bring me my favorite popcorn from a popcorn shop down his city, just to
Yeah.
do little small things. He's very thoughtful. So I just like, this is our his first birthday. Let me give him something nice that I think he would really enjoy.
Yeah.
But it wasn't over. The money wasn't really that expensive. It
Yeah.
wasn't that expensive for that gift.
Now, has
And
he said why he hasn't proposed yet after it's been a year? That's
oh
kind
no,
of,
it hasn't been a year. We haven't been dating a year.
oh,
We've been dating this year, within this year. We
oh,
started dating going out in May. That's when we started dating going out. We didn't started actually speaking about a relationship until it was June. it was June once we made it
yeah.
official that to, officially just be him and I together. And
And how old are you? If you don't mind me asking. You don't have to
oh,
give it
I'm
back, just
Oh, it's okay. I'm 42.
Okay. And is he older or younger?
He's actually younger than I am.
Oh, a lot younger.
Yes. Not a well, yeah, I would say. Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think you should rush marriage, but now at 42, I am gonna say that, it's a conversation that should be had. And the engagement is it's if someone comes into a relationship and you guys started dating and he was like, I want to wife you, I then he should have been done, tried to be on one knee or put something in a strawberry in a wine glass or something
Mhm.
by now. Because that, but if he's a lot younger, that may be where the breakdown in communication about how important it is. Because let me ask you this, would you be okay with not marrying him?
Did not marry him? Well, mm, I mean, I would have to be okay. If we didn't make it, I would be fine. I would be okay. Want him. I don't need him.
Well, I'm not saying in that aspect. What I mean is, would you be okay with being his girlfriend? I should have worded that better. Would you be
Oh,
okay with just being his girlfriend of 5 years?
oh no,
Yeah.
no.
See,
And he
that's the
knows that.
reason.
He
Yeah.
knows that. And actually, to be honest, he is younger than I am, but he's very mature and he has been married. He's divorced. So he was
Yeah.
married before and he was divorced and he wants to be married again. He
Yeah.
wants to have because he it didn't work the first marriage and he just honestly just said that he feels as though he is to be a husband. He wants a wife. He wants the family and continue to have that, even though it didn't work the first time. He said he wasn't giving up.
Now he's
So
he's 30s, in his 30s, or
yes, he's in his
yeah,
30s.
yeah. I would be like, yeah, we need to I wouldn't push it because don't
Oh
don't
no, I'm
ever
not.
don't ever push it with
Mm-mm.
them. But he should be trying to bust a move like real soon, like Christmas. That's what you should be
Mm-hmm.
getting. And if I didn't get that for Christmas or around in that, then I would start giving him the side eye.
I have
Because
a feeling that it's gonna be around Christmas or New
yeah,
Year. I think.
'cause
He
sometimes
just
now
met my
men,
daddy.
oh well, that's now sometimes men will say they want to be married, but then as
Yeah,
the years go by, then it becomes clear that they just didn't want to be married to you, but they actually do want to
yeah,
be married. And I just, time is of the essence. I mean, no rush, of course, but if at 42 you want to be married, because
yeah,
these guys, sometimes ladies, these guys will, if they're and not, Kim, nothing, if they're getting video games and sex and fun and everything that comes with a wife,
hmm,
then it's not at the top of their list of things to do. Because like they used to say back in the day, like, why buy the cow if you can get the milk
hmm,
free, you know?
yeah.
Because there's nothing wrong with being good to them and getting them something every now and again. But again, there are those boyfriend gifts.
Yeah, that was my first gift actually buying him, like for his birthday.
Yeah,
I never bought him anything before that, and like I said, he normally does the buying and of gifts or whatever. But he, like I said, he just met my daddy this month, so
yeah.
they
Now, did he ask?
talked
He
and
wanted
that.
to meet your father, or
Yes.
he? Oh, okay, okay. Well, that's a good sign. So hopefully he was asking for that hand.
It could be. And I was raised by my father, so it's I'm I wouldn't if I don't see signs that is moving forward, my daddy has always taught me to not sit around and wait
Yeah.
on a man, to be desperate to be in a relationship just to have somebody. So my sister and I, we never really been hard up for relationships, but we're very open, for marriage, to be married.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, we got kind of caught up in careers, careers for a while, and
Yeah.
that kind of stopped us. And I was a younger mother, so I took a break from the scene for a long time because I was raising a daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now that I'm out here, I tried to shake him off when he first approached me, but he kept coming back. And I said, well, let me just see what he's talking about. If
Yeah.
he ended up talking about something.
Well, I wouldn't say to him, you got 30 days to propose to me, but I would definitely, in my mind, have a date that things need to start taking a turn in a different direction. And if not,
Mhm.
then we would be having other conversations. Because
Okay.
yeah, definitely.
Mhm.
But good luck. I'm
Thank
excited for
you.
you if that happens. If you get that ring on Christmas, you make sure you email me and let me know. So
I will, girl. I will let you know.
all right. Thank you for coming
All
on.
right. You have a
Have a
good Christmas.
You too. Merry
Thank
Christmas.
you. Bye bye.
Good night. Um Country Boy 77 said the game done changed since the last time you was dating in these streets. The deadline needs to be 1-1. Yeah, ladies, I think there's a lot to hear in that conversation. I mean, men will say, when you say, hey, do you want to be married, men will say, yes, absolutely, I want to be married again, I'm supposed to be a husband, I want to have but sometimes that doesn't necessarily mean that they want to be married to you. And if things are going well for them at that present moment, like you ain't raising no hell with them, you're good to them, the sex is good, the time they have, the time to waste, they will. And I'm not saying that's what this gentleman is doing, but they will wait it out as long as they possibly can. And sometimes, unfortunately, they will wait it out until they find the one that they're really actually wanting to be with. So that's just what they do. And we have to be able to recognize that, recognize game. We have to be on top of that because especially when we're in our 40s, like we don't have a lot of time, to play around with people, that when it's not by choice, because you can be in your 40s and play around with dudes, if that's what women have made up their mind to do, but we don't have a lot of time to waste. And so when there are children and all that type of stuff involved, and a woman really wants to be married, then sometimes, you got to keep it pushing. Yeah. Yes, thumbs up the video. What does it mean when a man has been, oh, you've been in a, I ain't got my glasses on. What does it mean when a man you've been in a 3-year relationship with says we have grown apart, but it's clearly one-sided? Y'all have grown apart. That means he doesn't want to be with you anymore. That means he's leaving. He's out the door. That means he probably grew close to someone else in the time that he says that y'all have grown apart. That means let him go. Basically, I know that sounds hard, but that's true. We've grown apart. I would ask him, in what way? What do you mean? But basically, if you guys haven't been having a conversation about the growth of your relationship and moving on to the next level and doing new things in life, and then suddenly one day he's done some type of magnificent growing or whatever in his life, then he's probably being full of it. Basically. Lindsay Abundance, they know right away. Yes, I just said that the other day in my video. Like, men know. We don't have to convince them, ask them, beg them, threaten them. They know. They absolutely know. And it's not saying that they won't marry, that you can't pressure them into marrying you, because I talked about this before. You absolutely can pressure a man into marrying you. You can wear them down, but it's not going to be the marriage of your dreams. Actually, it's going to be the marriage of your nightmare. It's not going to be good. Yeah, lay town. It means goodbye. He's not interested in you. Yeah, that's exactly what that means. We've grown apart. Boy, gone with that. Bye. Leave the key. Yeah. Yep. Brick Jones said, don't ask, just leave. Yeah, I mean, honestly, that's what that means. That it means the same thing when women say it. Women say the same thing. That's actually not a statement, excuse me, that only men say. Women say the same thing. We've grown apart. And sometimes it can be true. It can be true if you are growing and you are changing and you are progressing, and your partner is just sitting on the couch playing Super Mario Brothers, eating Laffy Taffy. That it can happen, right? But if that's not the case, then it's something to say other than walking in the house or doing a Harlem Nights and calling and saying, hey, I ain't never coming back. Sheena 52, I'm wearing Juvia's Place. This is my new lip gloss I'm stuck on lately. I'm stuck on her lip liners, they're her Luxe lip liners. Amazing. And you don't even need lipstick with her liners and her gloss, her clear gloss. Brick Jones say, yeah, women say the same. Yeah, we say the same thing. We actually, you know what? Let me say this. A few men say that. That's really something women usually say. I've never had a man say that to me, but I have said that a time or two in my day. you know, you know, I just feel like we've grown apart. Men don't often say that, but so someone said, how do they know? And I think in regards to how does a man know that he wants to marry you, is that the question? Grown apart. Yeah, 2022 is time to practice, definitely time to practice self-love. Actually, you can start tomorrow. How about that? 2022 would be too late. Let's start ASAP. It's too little of that going around these days. Um, Proverb 3:10 said, I don't know, but my husband told me that I was going to be his wife when I first met him. I just shrugged my shoulders. My husband told me that I was going to be his wife when I first met him. And I said, no, I'm not. He honestly did. He told me that over and over and over again. He was like, you're going to be my wife. And I was like, no, not sure how that's going to happen. But yeah, they know. They absolutely know. Angelica, this is it right here. She says, I have a male friend who's going into year 8 with a girlfriend he doesn't want and hasn't wanted for 7 years. or for 7 of those years, he stays because she wore him down but won't marry her. Yeah, you can wear men down. Absolutely. They can be worn down. Sometimes you have men, they have a name for those type of men. And I don't like to say the name, and I won't say the name, but they do. And you absolutely can. Now, the good ones, the ones who have a sense of self, you know, men who are going through this life knowing what they want and they're pretty sure about what they're doing, they got it all in the bag. You typically can't wear those men down. But the ones who he probably can never tell her no pertaining to anything. Those type of brothers, absolutely. Absolutely. I can't move on from my ex because he keeps coming back. I can't kick my depression thoughts. So, you know what? I talked to someone, and this hasn't been that long ago. And this gentleman left her. He left this woman. And they had, dual custody of the kids or whatever. But she wasn't in a relationship with anyone, but he was out, he was dating, he was doing his thing. But he still kept coming back, like constantly. Spent a lot of time at her house. They were sleeping together. They were, and of course, she was feeling some type of way, because she wasn't the one that initiated the divorce in the first place. He was, right? These type of people here, you're going to have to be the one to sever ties, okay? Because there's only one thing to say to this man, your ex, that you can't leave alone. He's your ex, right? And especially if he left you alone, it's like it's time to be done with that, because it's nothing more than him not being able to not being ready to see you with someone else, and him wanting to be able to do what it is that he wants to do out in the streets. He wants to be with who he wants to be with. He didn't want to be a husband or a committed boyfriend or fiance, whatever, for whatever reasons of his own. You're going to have to be the one to sever those ties, because when you don't, you look weak. Honestly, you look weak. Just because men will do this. They'll keep coming back. Men will go back to babies' mamas and sleep with them. And the kids have been grown and gone out the door, but they just keep this type of behavior up because women allow them to do that. If he leaves, he leaves. He's gone. He should not be climbing back in your bed again. If you can't get over him, get back with him. But if you can't get back with him, then leave him alone. 100% leave him alone. Leave him alone. Teresa Beeson, hello, welcome to the chat. Yeah, Angela Stinson, using the woman. That's what he's doing. He's using you. That's all he's doing. That is all he's doing. If it's over, it's over. He didn't want her, but he didn't want nobody else to want her. That's it. Yeah, that's selfish. And time is ticking, ticking, ticking away. No, don't waste time on people like that. Don't let people use you like that, and don't let people waste your time. Don't waste. Time is something you will never get back, ever. Now, we just said 2022 is the year of self-love, but I said tomorrow, we're going to start practicing this tomorrow. 2022 is too late. We're going to start now, self-love. Men know when you're weak. That's the thing about it. They tell other people, I can sleep with her anytime I get ready to sleep with her. That's my baby mama. I can go kick it with my baby mama when I ain't got nothing else to do. Because they always need something to do. Don't be no fool. Mm-mm. Nope. Don't be no fool. So I talked about sometimes, if you watch my um I was broken, I think I talked about this in my I was broken video, how I was with this guy and it was that same thing. He was just always, and I knew he was with somebody else. And I just kept on, whenever he came to my door, I opened my door for him. I let him in. I let him spend the night at my house. I was just, I was gone for this dude. And back in those days, I thought I loved him because I was really young and really stupid, but he was older than me. And sometimes I think about how bad I had it. This gentleman, he used to drive a Saab. And I don't know if you've ever driven a Saab, or if you know anybody who's ever driven a Saab. His had a real distinct sound, right? I could hear that car coming probably from 2 miles away. And when I would hear that engine of that little Saab putting coming zoom, zoom down the road, little turbo Saab, my heart would start beating. I would be so excited. I would be so happy. It could have been 4 days that he wouldn't answer his phone for me. I hadn't seen him or anything. But when I heard the sound of that Saab coming down the street, oh my God, my whole world would just light up, right? And he told me, this is how stupid I was. He told me that he wouldn't marry me because I was too young. And he married another woman in the process. Now, I forgot to mention I had his baby. We left that out. Um, I had to lock myself in my house. Took off work, locked myself in my house, and every day he would come knocking on my door. And all I did when I was in my house was read books, cry, and shake, child. But I was just like, and praying, and I was like, Lord, get this man out of my spirit. I said, if you get this man out of my spirit, things will never be the same. And I kid you not, I had to lock myself in my house and just and clear my mind and my soul and I'm telling you, because he had our daughter, and when he came, I finally told him I was going to let him in. He said he was coming to, bring the baby. I said, okay, I'm gonna open the door. I opened the door for him. I took my baby out of his hands and I shut the door in his face. And we ain't never, ever, ever been intimate a day since. So if you gotta lock yourself in your house and cry and pray and shake like I did, that's what you need to do. Get him out your spirit, because that's what happens. They get all in your spirit and all that bad mess and all those soul ties and everything, and then you be feeling like life is over. You just can't let them go. Pray about it. Pray about it. Yep. Oh, TBLU, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for being one of my early subscribers, and I'm so glad you're still here today. Yeah. queens don't listen. Men let you know just who they are. Just listen. Yeah, we don't listen because we don't want to listen. We know we don't, we think we can fix it, right? Because that's who we are. We're nurturers, we're fixers. We fix everything and we think we can fix men. And when we stop trying to do that, then life really gets better for us. And we start to choose men better, or choose better men when we realize that the only person that you can change is yourself. That's it. Can't change these dudes. Yeah. Mighty Strong. Hey, Mighty. Mighty Strong is another one of my day one subbies. Said when enough was enough for me, I prayed, changed my number and moved. Yep, stayed celibate for 14 years until I got married. It's doable. It's absolutely doable. You just ask God to remove him and be strong and stand your ground. Because we're always quick to say we're gonna do something and we don't do it and tell them. I think with men, like once you cut them off twice, they know that they got a spot in your world forever until you gain some strength and some good sense about yourself. They just like, oh yeah, she done. I've heard men say it before. Oh, she ain't messing with me right now. Because they know they can come back whenever they want to come back, whenever it's convenient for them. Cynthia, pray, get up and start a great new life. That's it. Start doing something new, do something different, get a hobby. I talk about this thing all the time, like this hobby thing, like because women, sometimes men, I've noticed this for a lot of women, men are our hobbies, right? It's not supposed to be that way. Either men are our hobbies or we consider shopping to be a hobby. And shopping is not a hobby at all. Windsurfer, yeah, no, that's not happening. Yep, we try to fix men and they're consistently showing us who they are, showing us constantly. And we like, oh, he didn't mean it. He didn't. Oh, yeah. I'm gonna try to, let's remove windsurfer. There we go. All right. I'm learning some things, y'all. Learning how to hit them with the blocker. I told y'all earlier, I ain't playing. Sheena 52. That's what I did. Cried, pray, and shake. Yeah, I had to. That was bad. That was the last time for me. And I was talking to a woman last week, and she is in that situation right now with a man, and she is 40. And I'm like, man, I cannot imagine being in that type of situation with a man, or even, I don't even think feeling that way about a man in my 40s, because I just think you get to this point where you don't feel like that about guys when you get to a certain age. And it's not that you don't love them and you don't care for them, but they just are not the end all be all. And there's no one, my husband couldn't have me crying and shaking at 44. No, that's just not how I choose to handle things in my life. But you start to see the BS in people, and you can cut them off and go on about your life. I could not even imagine that thing right now. Because how does that even happen anyway? I think when you're 20, you get like, pardon my French, you get like digmatized, right? You think you need guys, especially like he was financially good to me, would take care of me. You know, he was real sweet to me. He was the first guy that was nice to me. And that was what I talked about in my video. He was nice to me because men had never been nice to me when I was a young girl. So that was an easy trap for me to fall into. But now I'm nice to myself. So that would never happen to me at 44 ever. Mm-mm. Not even with like Tyson Beckford. No. That used to be my secret crush, but I don't guess he's so hot anymore. Yeah. Yeah, you use discernment, you can see right straight through them. Oh, this is a good question. Do you have advice for not catching feelings really strong? I'm selective, but when I like someone, it's something I'm trying to tame. That honestly, self-love, honestly. Yeah. Because I think that when when your self-esteem is in check and your self-love and you're sure about it, yeah, you don't that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen for anybody and like that, basically. And then you have to really start thinking about what is it that you're catching feelings for? Like what part is it? Is it the intimacy? Is it the conversation? Is it because he's cute? Is it you have to dissect all of that type of stuff. Are you clingy? Are you needy? That's typically it right there. So you have to think about all that type of stuff. And Jerte asked, how long were you with him before you got the strength to leave him alone? This man was a part of my life for like, I would say four, 4 or 5 years. 4 or 5 years. Yeah. 4 or 5 years. It was a long 4 or 5 years too. Yep. Nelly looks good for 48. Yeah, Nelly still kind of looks the same, right? What are some red flags women should look out for? What time is it? It's 9:30. Oh, this could go on all night, right? There are so many red flags. I think, you know, one of the most important things is that I started to figure out later on in life that is really important is how a man keeps his word. That's big. A lot of people say how he treats his mother, but I don't always I don't always go off of that. And I don't always think that that's a tell-all sign, right? I don't always think you can gauge things like that because some men love their mother, worship her, with stuff deep down inside. And so that doesn't necessarily mean they won't treat you like crap, right? Lying. Have you been to his home? What does he talk about? So many red flags. What does he condone? What type of stuff does he condone? Yasmin Mohammed, thank you. Thank you for watching. Oh, Classy Sis, do I have advice for dewy skin? No, but sometimes need some for matte. A good moisturizer, I would definitely say. Definitely a good moisturizer and a good highlighter. And Paula Hart, self-love is of utmost importance. A fool can't come and tell you anything and mistreat you. That is absolutely true. And men, when you got, your self-esteem is in check, and men know that they can't just pull a bunch of BS over on you, honestly. They know they can see a fool coming from a mile away just like we can. Cheyenne, that's not good. That's not good at all. Now, Cheyenne, have you been in the living room for 8 years? Or not for 8 years, but since 2008? That's a long time. Nikki, asking you for money. That's what's the worst flag than a red flag? Is red flag the worst? Because if that would be more than a red flag. That's like 10 red flags at one time. A man should never be asking you for money. What are his friends and associates? Absolutely. That's that's big. Birds of a feather flock together. Secretive. Yep. All definitely all really good red flags. Red flags. Anything that makes you feel weird. If it doesn't make you feel right, because this is where we fall here oftentimes. And then later on, we figure it out. We're like, oh, you know what? When he did so and so and so and so, that really made me nervous, or I felt some type of way about that. You got to go with your gut with these men. You cannot ignore that. Women have ended up in some horrible situations because they did not go with their gut, and they knew something was off, and they felt something was off. I heard a story where a woman who she and her, I think it was two children, got murdered by her ex. And she felt that he was going to kill her, and even told people in her family, if something happens to me, he did it. I feel like he's going to do something to me. Now, when you have children, at that point, actually, long before that, but at that point, when that feeling is so strong for you that you feel like you need to call your family members and tell them that you think he's going to kill you, I'm thinking like protective custody, a battered woman shelter, something like 911. Something needs to occur at that very moment. But that woman's not even here to tell her own story anymore because she ignored what she was feeling, despite the fact that she knew it was basically the inevitable. That's horrible. That's more than horrible. Mona said not answering the phone at night. Unless they tell you that they don't answer their phone at night or they turn it off at night, that definitely could be a red flag. Yeah, you cannot think your gut is lying to you. Now, if you're paranoid, if you're just a paranoid, jealous, crazy type of person, that's a different story, but never ignore what your gut is telling you. Yeah, you have to ask questions. You know what's amazing to me? What's amazing to me is that we either go way off the deep end with it and we ask, 50 questions on the first date, or we totally miss the mark where questions are concerned, right? Because I know of a situation where a lady met a gentleman, and I saw him and I said, "Has he been incarcerated?" And she said, "No, heck no, absolutely not." And I was like, "Are you sure?" I can smell them from a mile away. Most people can, right? Well, come to find out, mm-hmm. And for a very long time, he had been. I was like, "You never asked him?" Because I would be thinking, like, have you ever been to jail? You know, have you ever been with another man? You need to know that. There's some pretty important questions that you need to be asking people. I was I was gonna say something, but I'm not gonna say that. Or actually, I ain't gonna say anybody's name, but I met a guy and I asked him had he ever killed anybody, and when he couldn't answer me, we never went out again. And I to this day I don't know if he was playing, joking. I have never talked to him ever again because he said, "Oh man, I can't answer that." Mm-mm. Nope. So it says family entered the waiting room, but I have not seen family in the chat room. So let's see what we got here. Family. Hello, family. Hello.
Hello.
Are you trolling me?
Mm-mm.
Can you hear me? Yeah, I don't know what was going on there. Can you hear me? Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. But as I said, if you come in, if you call in because you have something to say, turn your camera on, turn me off in the background because that's what all the rigmarole is. John, is this going to be one of those evenings? Good evening.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Oh my goodness. What in the what? See, this is that thing that good night. I mean, you literally have to go into my description box. You have to click on the link, and to go through all of that just to troll me is so funny. It's just horrible. It's horrible. It makes absolutely no sense. Now, Nikki J, do you tell people that you're gonna run a background check on them, or do you just do it? I think I've asked this question before, like, is it appropriate to tell the person, "Hey, just want to let you know I'm running a background check on you," or do you just kind of sneak around and do it, and then when the background check comes back, do you say, "Hey, I ran a background check on you and this is what I found"? I always like to know the answer to that. Yeah, I know, right, Mona Nicole, not the baby. Khadijah, thank you for joining, Khadijah, and I'm going to try to come on earlier. Daniel, then hesitation is a good. The past is the and not their business. Yeah, Mighty, that was a whole baby calling in here. There, a kid called me the last time I was on live. A little boy called in. And so, Angelica, you say don't tell them. Now, how do you break the news to them? Or do you just leave them alone and never even say why? That's what, if something questionable comes back on the background check, do you just walk away or do you then go? Because I don't think you can say anything at that point, because then it looks like you're being sneaky, right? Do it, find a reason to get out if there are things you don't want to deal with. Yeah, open up a line of questioning for them to reveal and explain. Yeah. Yeah, I think honestly, I think you pretty much have to just, like, if it comes back that he did 25 for murder, you pretty much have to just be done with the situation, because you can't come to a man and say, hey, I did a background check on you and it came back that, because there's no argument there anyway. Because if it's something like that, now, yeah, if it's something like that, that's not even a topic of discussion, because first of all, that's something that somebody should tell you, I think, when they first meet you. And then you have to be fearing for your safety. So if it was self-defense, that's a different story. That's why I don't want to be out here dating. Like, I don't want to have to be in a situation where I feel like I got to be running background checks on these guys. Yeah, I do not want that at all. That's a lot. That's a lot of responsibility. You're gonna go out on a date with somebody and you're like, okay, I like this guy. I think I can go on date number 2 with him. But the deciding factor of that, like, you have to wait until the background check comes back. So when I was in human resources, we used to use oh shoot, I can't think of the background check company, but sometimes if that person had like business or, had lived in other cities or states or whatever, it could be 7 days. Sometimes it could be 2 weeks before we would get someone's background check back. So, what was the name? I can't even think of the name of the company. So I guess you just lay low until the results come back. Uh, Eva, is it really that common to run background checks on potentials? I apparently so. Yeah, I guess so. That's why I said that's too much work for me. That is entirely too much work. And then, and my thing is like, what if you find out he's a petty thief? Like, if he was just a petty thief, or he, had some, he used to like to climb through people's windows and steal their TVs back in the day when that was popular. What if it's stuff like that? Is that type of stuff something that you just be like, because of course, if you're sitting down for coffee or tea with a man, he's not going to tell you, yeah, when I was 17, I used to like to climb through people's windows and take their 32-inch TVs. I think there would be some information. Now, let me ask this though. Ladies in the comment section who are dating, what date is it that a man should start telling you things about his criminal history and things like that. Is that like on the first night? Because I know a gentleman that went out with a woman and he told me that the reason why he never went on a second date with her was because at the date they sat down, they barely got the water in the napkin, and she was like, yeah, so I have this many kids and my ex was abusive and he busted me across the head and I had, and she was just like, and he was like, okay, thank you for your time. And he knew he was never going to see her again. So I'm like, that's not first date talk, in my opinion. That's not first, maybe that's not even second date talk for real. When you go to talking about life and everything you done been through. That's too much. The third date, someone should start talking about date three. Okay, second or third. A lot of people are saying date three. Date three. Yeah, let's not get too deep into it. Yeah, I think date three is probably, yeah, at least by date three, he should start opening up. You can tell a lot about a man though by the way that he's living now, I think. And you can definitely tell a lot about them by the way that they're living now. You can tell a lot about their past, that is. Even the ones who have like 100% cleaned it up. Definitely. Terracotta, you didn't get a notification. YouTube hates on me sometimes. I don't know why. I think sometimes people that have been watching me since I've been on YouTube, especially lately, have been like, oh my goodness, you haven't done a video in forever. It's like, yeah, I haven't done a video in 2 days. I'm here. Every week I'm here, but they don't get the notifications. Criminal history is first date if you have felonies and hard prison time. Hard prison time, felonies, depending on what the felonies are, I would absolutely say. Even less than a month when you're dating with a purpose. Yep, we don't wait for nothing. And you should always be dating with a purpose. Absolutely, Antonio. Hey, good evening, Antonio. Absolutely. Hit the bell, the notification bell. Unhit it and hit it again. Unhit it and re-hit it. Now, when you unhit it, don't forget to re-hit it. Unhit it and hit it. So this is interesting. Yeah, you can sense when a man hides things from the start. Yes, you can. You know when they're hiding stuff. You know when things are off kilter about men. You absolutely know. But there are those times when that's just what they've been doing for their entire life, is hiding and lying, and they are professional con artists. And so I guess in that case, a background check don't hurt nobody, right? Long as you ain't. What about a credit report? I've heard women say that they run a man's credit report. Now that I think is kind of crossing the line. I think that crosses the line. Absolutely. You have to tell me criminal record before he take me. He should tell you that. He should definitely tell you that before you put yourself in a situation where you're going to be alone with him, because you need to be safe. The credit report. What are my thoughts on a guy saying you should prove your worth marriage at an early stage of dating? Is that women should prove their worth? No, I don't think women have to really prove like anything. That falls in the same category with a man asking you, what do you bring to the table? Because when a man meets you and he knows that you are definitely someone that could be his wife, he doesn't have to ask those stupid questions. I that just and prove what? Like, what does he want you to do? Like, because you're not going to play house with him before it's time for you to marry him. I mean, what does he want you to do to prove your worth? I always figure that men have this thing worked out before they even, ask you out on a date or. Yes, man, I'll run it before getting into marriage. So during the engagement stage. Uncool, yeah. Basically, he doesn't want you if he says that. He's playing games. You need to prove your worth. Why would you be with somebody that their worth hasn't even been made clear to you yet? That's dumb to me. Like that's just all that old mind uckery that men like to get involved in. I'm telling you, that sits in the same uh list of questions as what do you bring to the table? Said no man ever who had his own table full of stuff. Can I do a video? Yes, I will have to. I will have to do something like that. Yeah, that's what I don't understand. I don't understand how you would go about proving something like that to a man when, if he's going to make you his wife, or if he's even considering the possibility, he already knows your worth. He already knows that. Merlin, yeah. He needs to be proving his worth to you. And Uncle, I agree. Whenever I see guys asking women this, like on social media, and I'm like, I have never had a man ask me, what do you bring to the table? I've never had a man ask me that. I've never had a man ask me to prove myself. And duly note, I've never been without one. I've never had a hard time getting one. We just make that very clear. But I've never been asked that by a man. That's childish to me. That's some 2021 stuff. That shouldn't even. Mm-mm. That's some stuff that needs to stay in 2021. I have a whole list of things that need to just stay in 2021. We don't need to do these things in 2022. And the two things at the top of my list are BBLs and veneers. horse veneers. I'm so sick and tired of seeing these bad butt jobs and these bad teeth jobs. Like what is it with the teeth? What is it with the I don't get that. Yeah, women shouldn't divest if they truly only want a black man. Maybe they can travel to Africa. My husband asked me had I ever cheated when we dated. And I'm curious, if you said yes, what was his response? I would never say yes, I don't think, to a man. I would never just blatantly, especially if we were dating. I wouldn't say, oh yes, absolutely. Some stuff is not their business. Like you don't tell everything. We tell too much. A lady never tells. You don't have to tell men this. When men ask you for a body count, which is also some new stuff, okay? They want to know a woman's body count, but don't you dare ask them because they don't even know how to write that many zeros down on one sheet of paper. They want to know that. I would say 3. And actually 3 might be too big of a number. I would say 2, you know, or just you. There's no way I would ever answer that question honestly to a man. I'm not even sure why men ask that. It's such a stupid question. Bad teeth, veneers, and BBLs. Yeah. Okay, Nadoro, what Donald Duck book are y'all reciting from? All ladies are not the same. Who would be beholden to a female when there are so many to go around? If she doesn't have youth, a high body count. I want to go back and see who's reading from a Donald Duck book. I don't think that, I mean, have we reached this level where we really have to travel to other countries to meet men? And I like 90 Day Fiance, and I don't watch it anymore because I don't watch it like I used to, because now I'm irritated at the fact that why is it that every time I look up women and men are traveling to other countries to be in relationships with people that are far worse off than the people that they can be in a relationship over here with? For men, I'm gonna say this, for men, oftentimes I know exactly what it's about. But for women, I don't know that I always understand why they're even doing this thing. Like, why are you going over there to get a gentleman? You have to bring over here. There's a language barrier. He can't work because he's over here on a visa. So you're gonna have to take care of him 100%. Then when he gets to the point to where he can work, he's basically, you basically have a child. You have a new child. How are you winning? How are you hashtag winning? That's something I really need to know. Now, if he was already over here and, you know, he already had his papers, that's different. But you know, back in the day, we used to call that hustling backwards. That's hustling backwards. Okay. You never heard that. That's what that is for me. That's stupid, in my opinion. That's foolish. There are men over here. And contrary to what women believe, they're not all dead, gay, in jail, and with women of other nationalities. There are men out there. I see no need to go to, y'all know where y'all be going, getting these men, going to a third world country to get a man. And it makes no sense to me. I don't understand it. I will never understand it. Some women like control. In certain situations, absolutely. It's about control. That's what I say is the number one thing for men. It's definitely about control for them. Absolutely. And they do. They leave those women once they become citizens. Absolutely. Control. And but you know, more so than control, I think is it's desperation. Like, I mean, and not to be, but there are a few exceptions on these shows, but most of the time when you just looking at the women, it's a tell-all. And these are women that basically American men have said no thank you to. And so they're like, okay, well, let me mosey on over here and see what I can muster up. See who I can come up on over here in Bolivia or wherever they are. Older women. Yes, older women. I think when I watch, I get so heated because it's like if you're in your late 50s and you look every bit of in your late 50s, life has not been kind to you. You know how you look, you know what you've been through, you know that you're not taking care of yourself. And then you find this fine, young 28-year-old rapper, because that's what I was watching yesterday. This dude is rapper. This dude is a rapper who is actually on his second relationship. So you think that he fell in love with you? Why? Because you talk nice on the internet? Come on, give me a break. Give me a whole break. No. Yeah, I'm not willing to believe that there are no men over here in the United States. There ain't nobody out here. Come on. And the biggest thing about it is culture. You know, that's where most of the couples struggle. You know, one Caucasian lady, she married a Nigerian man, and she was so disrespectful when his family was sacrificing a goat. You know, she went all out and crazy, and it's like, okay, this is this man's culture. You know, this is their religion, and you are being so disrespectful right now, which is not cool. Know your SMV. Retta Vision says not in St. Louis. What, are there no men in St. Louis? I think there are men in St. Louis there, but men in St. Louis, I don't feel like I feel like they're in certain areas, in certain circles. Yeah. Brick Jones, you're assuming that people are traveling abroad to bring back their partners. I live in Brazil. Every year, most people have no desire to leave their families for America. Yeah, I know there are definitely some people that, you know, have no desire to do that, no desire to come over here. But there are situations where the guys that are trying to come over here, they make it crystal clear that this gentleman, the gentleman that's a rapper, had talked about how much better his rap career would be if he was in the United States. So that y'all were talking about red flags, that's a flag on the play right there. That's a huge red flag. What's your take on women who make more money and their husbands are not really comfortable? I would ask why their husbands are not comfortable. Is it because the wives make their husbands not feel comfortable? Because I don't think, for the most part, I don't think most men who are not constantly reminded, that's where the problem comes in at, when the man is constantly reminded that the woman is the breadwinner or she's the high earner. I make more money than you. You don't tell me. What you mean, cook? I make more money than you. You forgot? That's where the problem comes in. Aside from that, I think most husbands are like, yeah, my wife makes a lot of money. I don't think that's anything that would make a real man who's not being made to feel that way inadequate. I don't think he would feel inadequate about that. He shouldn't. He absolutely should not. I think there are many men, and they don't care about that anyway, especially if they are in the what is it? The provider position. It doesn't change anything, right? It doesn't change the fact that he's still the provider. It shouldn't, unless she is helping. That's then that show is my guilty pleasure. 90, yeah, it's mine too. They're gonna have to shake it up a little bit, but yeah, I used to tune in just to laugh. It's so funny to me. It's like you can't take a lot of those people serious at all. There have probably been 4 people on there that I have 100% taken serious. Other than that, you can't take those people serious. It's so hilarious. My husband doesn't know I make more than him. That's always my biggest piece of advice. Have y'all ever heard me talk about that? You don't tell. Don't ask, don't tell. Don't ask, don't tell. Yep, absolutely. I talked about that in a video where I talked about that was a mistake that I made one time when I was like talking about, oh my goodness, look, hey, and things started to get a little shaky. And I was like, oh, okay, you don't tell. You don't say anything. You don't say a word. And they're not, they see I think the thing that women that lead with that type of stuff just really don't believe or understand that they don't care. It really doesn't benefit them, especially if they're the provider, if they're taking care of the house and, doing all their man stuff and they make good money, they make enough to take care of the house. They don't care. It doesn't benefit them at all. Natural Market said, how much should the man pay in marriage? What do you mean, Natural Market? We don't have a dowry over here, but we should. I told my husband that you should have paid my mother a dowry. We don't have that. Yeah. Lions Den 42 says if my wife makes more than me, she better feel like she can pay bills too. I think that it should be a thing that if things happen, if he becomes ill and he can't make money and he doesn't have things squared away and in a situation like that, absolutely. But I think that when a man puts a woman in a position to where she has to do that, things get different. Things get different, especially if it wasn't the agreement from day one. Because if that changed when the woman started making more money, if the husband came home and said, you know what, you making all this money, you need to start kicking in on half the mortgage, things are going to change. He's going to start getting half the dinner. He's going to get half the sex. Half the laundry's going to get done. Oh, how the bills should be split. Yeah, I don't really know. I don't know how that thing goes when people are splitting up bills. I mean, I in a previous relationship, yeah, I have done, 50-50. You pay half, I pay half. I didn't know any other way. I thought that was the way that things were supposed to be done. Like the couple is supposed to split everything in half, that's how that's supposed to go. But then later on, I found out that, yeah, that's not really technically how it's supposed to go. But it happens, unfortunately. And I won't even say unfortunately. Every man you meet, all men do not make enough money to 100% provide for the household. They don't. And in most households this day, it takes two, if not four, to make things run smooth. So if that's not your situation, if it's not your setup, like I would not go home tonight or get off this live and tell my husband, oh, you let me find out you only been paying 50% of the bills and I'm paying 50%. Now you need to start paying 100%. That's not everybody's story. In fact, that's actually fewer women's story than most people think. A lot of households, it takes two incomes to make everything comfortable. Proverb 3:10. Yeah, that's how we do it here. I get to do all the leg work of it, make sure that they're taken care of, but he makes sure that I can make sure that they're taken care of. If he doesn't make enough to pay all the bills, he should definitely have the bulk of the responsibility. Because here's the thing, a man should make sure that a woman is not in a position to be stressed out by things like bills, right? Because people who are stressed out by bills should be by themselves, right? You can't, you cannot, as I say all the time, sit in your femininity. You cannot, if you're worrying about how the water bill is going to get paid or the light bill, or, you got to work extra hours just to make ends meet. You can't sit in your femininity like that. So the man needs to make sure that the woman is comfortable and not stressed out by what is going on. Even the part that he cannot take care of, he needs to make sure it doesn't stress her out when she's taking care of it. I'm missing something here. Most men expect you to assume your woman role, let them pay the bills. Yeah, that's most men feel that way. But again, there are a lot of men out there who just don't have it like that. So if that's not your situation, because I know times I've seen women who will make a man feel some type of way about the fact that he can't 100% hold it down, right? And that's not really fair to him, because I know a friend of mine, one of my friends, she's actually been married to her husband. They've been married for like over 20 some odd years. Is like, well, he should have made better decisions. No, you should have made better decisions, right? You can't spend 20 years with this brother. And then now that you're seeing that there are women in this world doing stuff that you would like to be able to do, like stay home and shop all day. Now you're mad at this brother because he doesn't make enough money to 100% carry you should have made better decisions, basically. All an old woman got is her foul mouth. No energy, exercise. Well, I don't think just because women are younger, they're more sophisticated. I think is it Endoro? Endoro, are you've got to be a male, and I can guess where you come from. What channel you probably strayed over here from. The thing about it is, I'm gonna let you tell me if you're a man first. Okay, you are. You are. A man can get sex from anywhere to be the protector guardian. For a female, it's another story. Okay, I see exactly where you're coming from now. And a woman can get sex from anywhere, just like a man can get sex from anywhere. And this type of talk, this type of attitude, we know this stuff. We recognize it, we see it, we get it, we understand it. If that's how you feel. But I can reassure you that the bulk of the women that are in this chat room tonight are women of a more mature age. Okay. So this is not where you're going to find those youthful, froofy girls with all the sophistication and class that you're looking for. They're not here. These are mature women with sophistication and class who are definitely not looking to deal with immature men who have formed a simple opinion. And let's be very clear about the fact that I know a lot of men feel this way. They love younger women, but men, regular old men who don't have boatloads of money they don't have access to younger women because they cannot afford them. So if you don't have boatloads of money, which I'm assuming is not the case because it's 10:27 p.m. And if you did, you would probably be doing what my husband is doing. I'm sure sitting in front of the computer, looking at his money. You wouldn't be on my live trolling grown women who are having a conversation. That would not be the case. So on to the next one. Yeah. Finish him. I don't like responding to that, but I just get tired of that. Most of the men who spew this bull, this mess, it's like they don't even have access to the women that they think that they have access to. So run tell your leader that, okay? You don't have, like I said, unless you have boatloads of money, you don't have access to young, beautiful women. And even when you only have a few dollars and you can get access to a young, beautiful woman, she's going to take it from you. And then she's going to go on to the young, frolicking 25-year-old with the Timbs who knows how to put that thing down. So don't come over here on my channel playing because I don't like it. Go back over to the other side. We don't play them games over here. I'm going to leave my the link. I'm in the description box of this video. It is actually, ladies, it is a mature woman's space, is what it's called on Facebook. So if you go, it'll come up if you search it on Facebook, if you go over there before I leave the link, because for some reason YouTube doesn't let me type in the chat on the YouTube live. But yeah, the next, I'm getting ready to get off here, but the next time I come on here, I'm gonna have me a crew of moderators. So if you would like to volunteer to do that, I would greatly appreciate it. I need a rough crew. Get them out. Yeah, so it's a mature woman space on Facebook, and it will only be women. So I have one person, or did she go? Did she leave? Oh, okay. I was gonna let Karina in. So I thank you guys so much for watching me tonight. And I'm so glad I just decided to pop on tonight. My lip gloss is Juvia's Place. It's just this clear lip gloss. It's just this like I think it's a little bit pink because, or yeah, it's kind of got like a little pink tint to it. I love it. It's so good. It's moisturizing too. It's really, really a good lip gloss. So everybody be safe. Of course I'll be here again before Christmas, but I hope you guys are more in the Christmas spirit than I am, because I was saying at the beginning of my live that I'm so not feeling it this year. It's just, I'm trying to get there though, but it seems it's so different for me this year. So thank you all so much and have a good night until I see you again.